Good afternoon, and welcome to a fresh new season of Take It or Leave It, Dr. Barbara Tabor Speaks. We're here once again with the incomparable Dr. Barbara Tabor, and since we last spoke, much has changed in the country and across the world. The dust has settled somewhat after a tumultuous election season that we covered meticulously, painstakingly, over the last couple of episodes, and now, like it or not, we find ourselves in some old territory, right back in Trump's America, for now. History, it seems, is repeating itself. It is echoing loudly. And as before, Dr. Tabor is right here with us, proverbial sleeves rolled up, ready to dissect the chaos, cut through the noise, and unpack the unbelievable. So, Dr. Tabor, it is good to be back. How are you holding up in Trump 2.0?
Well, it's like being on a really wild roller coaster that you can't see, kind of like Space Mountain.
A roller coaster in the dark. Countless executive orders reversing Biden-era policies, many of which had reversed Trump's own first-term initiatives, from immigration to trade and social policies. Which moves do you see as most concerning, and why?
Everything he has done has been an oh my gosh moment. You're just like, did he really do that? I don't feel like he has his full mental capacity. He is the acting dictator of his buddy Elon. We call him Felon. Villain with a star between the F and the E. And he really just has turned that all loose. His executive orders, he's governing by executive orders. There is literally nothing coming from Congress because they can't do anything. They don't have enough votes, or if they lose one vote or two votes, they can't pass a bill in the House. They send it to the Senate. They can't lose a vote there. A lot of it's getting done through the courts, but then that's got its whole other little backlash coming out from the executive branch that thinks they should have all the power, period. No courts, no legislature, and no people, because they have an overwhelming mandate from the American public to do what they're doing. But they don't.
Now, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, as it is known, has reportedly cut over $100 billion in waste. And this is something that Americans have long supported, but most presidents only talked about. Now that it's happening, some say Democrats are falling into another Trump trap, if you will, opposing a move that voters clearly want. Even James Carville said not too long ago that Dems should play possum and let the GOP just implode instead of fighting Trump head on. What do you think?
I don't like James Carville. He's a funny man. He's got a real good sense of humor. Mm-hmm. But, first off, those cannot be a department. The only ones who can make a department are Congress. Right. They haven't made a department. This is just one of Mr. Trump's side ventures that he has turned over the running of the government to Elon Musk, a bazillionaire who has no business doing what he's doing. Has he actually found billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse? I think he's part and parcel of the waste, fraud, and abuse, if you really want to know. But let's see. How shall I put this? Social Security. He says that is fraught with waste, fraud, abuse, and they're paying all of these people, dead people, all of this money. Well, one, they're not. Every year, Social Security Administration has to take and do an audit of every person they are giving Social Security to. Mm-hmm. And there's an outside audit of that information from what I understand, and they found that 99.7% of the people getting Social Security are alive and well and fit all the criteria, paid in their quarters, they're getting survivor benefits, and maybe a few dead people got some money, but they always get it back. Because trust me, having had two parents who were getting Social Security, when my father died, they went in my mother's bank account and pulled all the money back for the month of January from Social Security and the military. Because my father was a retired chief in the Navy. So they pulled that money back. But this business of Elon Musk going in and just firing people only to have to go back and rehire them because, oh, wait a minute, those people played an important role in keeping nuclear weapons and nuclear waste handled. I'm sorry. You don't know anything about it. I already don't like Elon Musk. I didn't like him beforehand because he was just arrogant.
Now, Trump is doubling down on tariff talk. He's claiming that they'll pay off like they did in his first term. He calls this a transitional phase, short-term pain, long-term gain, in other words. But do you buy that, or is it kind of a risky gamble?
Short-term pain for us, long-term gain for people with enough money to buy in the dip. If you've noticed, there's a pattern to this. And the first thing I did, I just got a real sick feeling, and I called my 403B guy, my financial advisor, and I said, move all but 10% of my retirement fund into the guaranteed interest account. No, I won't make a killing on it, but I also won't be eating grass in my backyard.
Yeah.
Union retirement plans and so forth are in the market.
Yeah.
And so it's killing them while these billionaires are out there buying up the stocks and making it look like it's not a bad thing. And then all of a sudden, after they bought in the dip, he decides, well, I'm not going to do the tariff. I'm going to put it off down the road. Market goes back up. They make bazillions.
Yeah.
Tariffs are a game. And he found out real fast that Canada don't play. And it's hurting a lot of people. It's hurting the farmers. It's hurting some very red states like Kentucky and their bourbon. Canada had this deal with the distilleries that they would sell the American bourbon, which the Canadians like, but they don't pay for it. They order it, they get it in, they don't pay for it till they sell it.
Right.
So they just pulled it all off their shelves and sent it back. There is no short-term pain.
Okay.
So
I want to talk now about Ukraine, Russia. The war. Trump and Zelensky's relationship has been turbulent, to say the least. Clashing in the Oval Office, trading barbs online, then exchanging kind words after that, and Trump revealing a letter from Zelensky at his joint address. I mean, with all these mixed signals, what's your take on the situation? And most importantly, do you see an end to the war anytime soon?
The only thing I see, if things keep going the way uh, Trump has them arranged via Putin, is that Putin's going to get everything, Zelensky's going to get nothing, and Ukraine's going to lose a whole bunch of territory without the promise of protection from further incursion into Ukraine. They now have ended the system where they tracked where all of these children were taken out of Ukraine and into Russia. We'll have no idea, no way to get those children back into Ukraine with their families. Every word coming out of Trump's mouth is exactly a Russian talking point. Putin's got his pet puppet there to go along. I will say that Mr. Zelensky exercised great restraint in the Oval Office. He was demeaned, he was trashed, and it was not right. I would have throat punched somebody. You just don't talk to me that way. Of course, we already know that because my mouth gets me in trouble all the time.
Now, many Democrats and news pundits believe the 2024 election was a referendum on the party being out of touch. How are Democrats rebuilding support, and what is their new platform to win back voters?
I don't think they really have a coherent one yet, but I do know what's driving, in my opinion, what's driving the movement away from MAGA. The sane Republicans, the independents, and the centrist Democrats are literally in shock with what is happening to our government. It's being gutted from inside out.
Yeah.
It is being irreparably damaged by Trump. And he says, go do what you want to do. Save us money. Oh, wait a minute, your little muskrats don't know anything about computer language that was being used before they were born. I think we were sold, the American public was sold a bill of goods with, I'm going to lower prices, but oh, wait a minute, I'm going to put tariffs on everything, and the countries are going to pay the tariffs. Well, that's not how tariffs work. Never have, never will. And the price of those tariffs are always going to be passed on to the consumer. So now what are the Democrats going to do? And how are they going to fish the independents and the moderate Republicans over to their side? And the biggest thing I think it's going to be Trump and Elon messing with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, dismantling the Department of Education.
The conversation that we were just having got me thinking about this now. We're now seeing AOC giving her rallies. Jasmine Crockett is very outspoken these days. And it is definitely the far left, if you will, of the party that's kind of taking matters into their own hands, much to the chagrin of the more centrist element of the party. So do you think that is a bit of a misstep?
I think that, well, AOC is not going so far to the left.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And she point blank said, look, I was one of you. I was a waitress. I was a bartender. I worked my way through college.
Yeah.
And this is what I see going on. Bernie is right there with her. 34,000 people showed up in Denver to see them, to hear them. And I think that their message is getting out. Look, this is what Donald Trump is doing. This is what Elon Musk is doing. This is what we need to do to combat that. And this is what we need to do to move forward and reclaim our democratic republic, because we're losing it quickly. But Jasmine Crockett, I like her. She will call the cards the way they are, but she sometimes lets her alligator mouth overrun her hummingbird behind. But I think that if the Democrats want to take back the running of this government and the rescue of this government, they're going to have to get a message that all of them can agree on and pull in the same direction, because a house divided cannot stand. And if Democrats and independents cannot get together and pull in the same direction, they're divided and they'll never make it. And I don't know how to tell them to do that, but I do know they have to come up with some very finite things and make sure that it's visible. Yeah, they had Build Back Better, the infrastructure bill and so forth, but the infrastructure bills take so much time to come to fruition. People didn't see that many jobs, although the jobless rate was very low under Biden. And the employment rate was very high. Now they just fire everybody in the federal government, and and they can't file for unemployment because we lied about why we fired them. But I do think that the Democrats have to sit down and quit fighting among themselves, to distill down exactly what they think the message needs to be, which basically is taking back the government, expanding the Medicaid and Medicare, lowering drug prices, lowering food prices, and finding ways to do it. All start pulling in the same direction. That's my final word.